Hey everybody. I know it's like really late on the West Coast, at least, right? Um it's 2:50 a.m. and so on the East Coast it's probably 5:50 a.m., right? But anyway, yesterday I made the poor choice of ordering sushi for dinner from a restaurant that I forgot got me sick the last time I ate there. And I got through about half of my order before I needed to start throwing up and taking a nap. Like that was so I ended up sleeping odd hours yesterday. And I did watch Zachary Michael cover this video. And I think I actually watched Sin and Sass as well cover it. But I think since Alex gets featured in her commentary, because she, yeah, she has in the past, Amberlyn Reed has in the past, because she likes to do these Q&As, right? Said, is there any React channel that you would do a panel with or like an interview with or something like that? And she has named Alex for that as well. So she clearly has some sort of like affinity, whatnot, for Alex. Now, she's going to be talking. She keeps bringing this subject back up, despite the fact that it could have been done and over with once everybody realized there was a typographical error in the arrest record. Like, it could have been over with at that point. But it seems like she has two goals here. One is to just continuously um, come after the React channels for finding that criminal arrest record that had the error on it, and make it so that they are constantly getting upset about it. I'm not sure why my downstairs neighbors would have had their door open at this point anyway. Seems unsafe at 3 a.m. But okay. Um, so she wants to really stick it to Jordy, especially, I think. But the other thing is, if she keeps this up on her channel over and over again, she thinks she's gonna get clicks, right? More views means more people seeing the advertising going across her channel. And so she's monetizing this situation and making money off of it, which is kind of ugly. I mean, if you want this to go away for your mom, you should probably stop talking about it, you know?
Are you okay, Amber? Okay. Amby, are you okay? Is it Amby, are you okay? Are you okay, Amby? No. She's dangling. She's dangling.
Uh-huh.
Yikes, there's so many dislikes on this. 4,000 thumbs down. How bad was it? I only watched like 4 minutes. Like, I watched about that much. What are you referencing? You don't know Smooth Criminal, girl? It's Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. Amber, are you okay? She gaslights nonstop, does she? Okay, I only watched like 4 minutes. touched by a smooth mukbanger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, here we go. Let's like fix it. I think this is like, there we go. That's good. Sorry. Sorry I'm late. Are you cool because you knew it was Smooth Criminal? I feel like everybody knew that, right? I mean, who doesn't know that? I guess maybe like Gen Zers might not know that. But, I mean, everybody knows Thriller, I guess. Maybe not.
Well, I would think that they'd know the cover that Jimmy World did, right?
Smooth Criminal. I like black and white. No matter if you're black or white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's just get right into it. I mean, shall we? Let's put it on 1.25. You remember the day MJ died? I do too. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
I was like pretty old at that point, like 16, 15 or 16.
Pretty old, he says. I'm fairly certain he died in 2008, right around the time that I was moving back to California. So we're talking, I was like 34. He was 16. Okay.
Hey guys, so welcome to a new video. So I figured since I have been gone for a little bit of time that I would come back with a Q&A just to...
Why is she so quiet? I guess I'll try to talk like quieter because I can't turn it up any higher than this. Maybe there's probably like an app I can get to like crank the volume, but I don't have it.
So kind of like check in, and I just didn't want to just like throw up a vlog and be like, hi guys, and act like I didn't disappear, because I did. So let's do the Q&A. There is 15 questions, and I had you guys ask me these questions from Instagram, so let's get into it. So the first question is, why haven't you been uploading? I got a lot of like, where are you?
Why does she think that it's not too bad? Okay. Why does she think that she should come on and do a Q&A? Like, nobody... I don't really enjoy the Q&As from her that much. I mean, it could be.
Well, and that's part of the reason that this probably fell flat, is that she tried to make it out like that there was interest from her audience, from her fans, in following up on the story, when if she herself just wanted to say something about it, she could have just said something about it. It might have gone over better, but I think what she says within this video is pretty much a repeat of what she said like a week ago.
There is a volume boosting extension. I'll be sure to check it out. I feel like I knew there was. I don't know why I don't have it. You can adjust on your computer. It's like, it's already like adjusted as high as it can go. But I think it's good enough. It's not like too quiet.
We miss you. Why haven't you been filming and uploading?
We miss you. Miss you. I can't get over like Foodie Beauty and Salah. Miss you. Miss you, babe. Miss you. Oh, turn that off.
And it's because of everything that happened with my mom. I got extremely triggered, and it was hard. It was hard for my mom, it was hard for me, and it kind of just like made me kind of just go into a shell.
Everything is so triggering. I don't know why, like, because she knows this whole situation with her mom has been such a mess and a half, but I don't understand why she brought it to the forefront at all. But I guess in the end, it turned out being a good thing because now everybody knows the truth. that her mom didn't abuse a service dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's good, but it's just been a whole mess.
And it wasn't even just with YouTube, it's been just in general. And I've just been having kind of like a hard time. And that's just me being honest.
Yeah, that's true. She has no distress tolerance. Yeah, it's like anything that goes wrong, she wants to hide under a rock. Like, girl, keep it pushing. You're an adult now.
Next question is, how have you been feeling mentally? I feel like that was a good question to have on here.
Yeah, the whole situation with Granny Lynn and then kids. I mean, we all know that she mistreated her kids. I mean, Amber's talked about that for years. How, I mean, you don't just get your kids taken away for nothing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Put into foster care. Like, it has to be pretty damn bad for them to be taken to foster care.
And also, for those of you who might want to circle back to Michael Zachary's coverage of this, he also pulled several of her videos in which she has, over the years, talked about her mom going to prison and being in prison and so on and so forth. So she's been talking about it for years. This isn't like a new revelation.
I haven't been doing that great. I've been feeling extremely low and depressed. And
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, mathematics is one hell of a, substance. We'll talk more about that
been kind of like dark
coming up.
So I had to take a step back, and I told myself that I'm going to wake up today and I'm going to kind of like fake it till you make it. And I'm going to just try my hardest to be an adult, film. I had cameos that I did, which I...
That's true. Being around her mom sounds like an actual trigger. It could be, like, if she thinks about her childhood while she's with her. Like, I know they've worked past that, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have flashbacks.
Thoroughly enjoyed. Those made me very, very happy. So thank you guys so much for requesting cameos. Like, it means the world to me, truly. And now I want to go back to like doing things that I love, because I have lost all interest in pretty much everything. I have just hit a very low point.
Is she in like the situation where all she can do is lay in bed and scroll on her phone, like doom scroll? You have to get out of that, girl. Like, I've been there. I'll have my days, like really bad days where I can barely get out of bed, but bad days when I don't have anything to do and I'll just like lay in bed and do TikTok like the whole day. Well, YouTube shorts. I'm not like a huge TikTok girly, but it's the same thing, potato,
And
Well, I don't see how this is much different than the schedule she's been keeping for a while now. It seems like she's only making about 1 to 2 videos per week. So, how is just taking a few days off here to recover mentally, as she says, any different than her normal work week? I'm not. I mean, like, this is one of the reasons I checked out of her channel.
I'm trying to just pick myself back up. Next question is, what's the update on you going back on Ozempic? So I definitely do want to go back on something like that.
Oh, this was crazy. Like I said, I watched the first like 5 minutes.
So there is semaglutide, which I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right, which you can get at med spas, which someone
Med spa. Like, can you imagine?
Actually contacted me on Instagram and told me about it. Actually, one that's kind of near my city. I am interested in it. It's going to be cheaper than Ozempic. So I am going to call the med spa, and
Girl, it's just the generic version of Ozempic, but I guess she's going to have to lie and say that she does not have an ED, because otherwise I don't think that they're going to give it to her. But, I mean, can you look at her and even think that she doesn't, So I don't know if they're going to give it to her. They might think that she's like too far gone, or maybe they will. I mean, they've been giving it out like candy, so I wouldn't be surprised if she got it from the med spa. I just find it to be a little bit crazy because she's the type of person that kind of needs constant monitoring, being high risk as she is. But if she can do it and it helps, it is what it is. What is a med spa? It's like a spa that does have like estheticians Is that what it's called? Estheticians? Like people with some sort of medical credential, they can do like.
No, estheticians haven't, they don't have medical credentials. Estheticians do facials and waxing and like it's like one portion of a cosmetology license, which also is not a medical license. And certain states apparently don't even require licensing for that at all. If it's called a med spa, I would assume that they have more advanced treatment that would require probably a registered nurse to be on hand at least. Like stuff like laser hair removal and stuff like that. They do have to have actual medical staff for certain procedures. An esthetician cannot do laser hair removal.
Botox. They can do, like fillers. They can do that kind of stuff. Like a regular spa, you can't do like Botox and filler.
Right.
You can only do like facials and massages and stuff. But yeah, they have like more procedures at these med spas. So there's people with like credentials there. Like there might be like a nurse, maybe even a doctor, but not like it's not that kind of environment. Like it's not really like a medical environment, like a doctor in the same way, you know?
And I'm going to set up a consultation. So that is something that's going to be in the works. Next question is, do you think you'll stay in Oklahoma for the foreseeable future? I think for now, I definitely
Oh yeah, there can be dermatologists there, yeah.
want to stay here. I love everything about Oklahoma besides the weather. There has been a lot of tornadoes lately. I hope everyone is okay. It's definitely scary. I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to tornadoes. You guys know.
So many tornadoes. Girl, I think you're okay. I don't think you're going to get like sucked up into the tornado. Although, I guess you could. I mean, have you ever seen Twister? Have you guys ever seen Twister with the cow? Not comparing her to a cow, but I'm just saying in the movie, the cow gets sucked. That's kind of like iconic from the Twister movie.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone remember the old Twister ride at Universal Orlando? So cheesy, but they got rid of it. But I remember it. I remember I saw it in like 2015, I think, and it was so outdated and so like stupid, but camp. Like it was camp at that point.
You guys know that? It's kind of ironic that I'm living in Tornado Alley.
The subway
That's like
ride.
literally the only thing I hate about it.
Yes, the King Kong subway ride at Universal. So scary as a kid. So scary.
I don't know how I'm going to do this.
The one in Hollywood caught on fire. They had like an electrical fire, and it spread to some of the studios where they stored old movies, like really old reels that were irreplaceable, and they were burned, gone, never to be captured again.
Because that's when it gets real bad. So I am kind of dreading that. But as for everything else, like I love living here. I love being around family and I'm creating a life here and I love that. Next question is, do you think reaction channels?
All right, girl. So she's creating her life in Oklahoma. What do you guys think? Sure, why not? I mean, I don't really see our girl being an LA girly or like a New York City girly. So Oklahoma City, you know, it's actually they have a pop-in lesbian scene. I heard. It's not a small city. Like it's a pretty big city. I do wonder where she lives. Like, does she live in the suburbs? I'm not trying to like dox her or anything. I'm just curious as to what part of the city she lives in. Just curious. Not trying to like expose or anything. Amber and
Well, she has talked about that as well. She has, on a previous live stream, talked about how she felt that the gay scene was much better in Oklahoma than it was. I think she came from Kentucky, but she also was comparing it directly to San Francisco, where because I think she used to live in the Bay Area, right? And she was trying to say that Oklahoma was better than San Francisco. I don't believe that for a second.
The city. And be in the city.
Should delete their videos where they said false statements about your mom.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
technically that is defamation. That's a hard question. I don't really know, because when I think of that, like, I think of myself. Like, I have said some things in the past that weren't true, even though I thought they were at the time.
That weren't true. Girl, you know that there have been times where you were straight up lying your ass off. But I do think that reaction channels should take down their videos if they said that her mother abused a service dog. Of course they should. I mean, for me, as soon as I found out, I took my video down because it's not about Amber Lynn. It's about, it's just more about your integrity and not spreading misinformation, right? So, yeah, I think that they should take them down. I haven't really kept track of, like, who did and who did it. You know, I don't really care that much, but, yeah, it's not about Amber Lynn. So I would just say, yeah, they should.
It doesn't mean I'm going to go and delete them or anything like that. So it's like, do I want to hold the same standards for reaction channels? I mean, in the sense of, like, the reaction channels that, like, really truly were like, yeah, Amber Lynn's mom did do this. Like, it is defamation. That is technically, like, the term for it. Do I think they should delete the video? I guess maybe morally it makes sense to do that, especially because they were so wrong. Like, if you guys didn't know, like, this whole thing about my mom has just been really hard, because we knew it wasn't true.
I was just wondering, like, what she was thinking behind the scenes.
About my mom doing something to a service animal. And I guess supposedly there was a reaction channel who ended up calling.
You don't think they should? I mean, I do think that they should. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's defamation, but it's not about, like I said, it's not about Amber Lynn. It's not about Amber Lynn. It's about just, like, the rules of, like, journalistic integrity, basically. At least have some sort of, like, disclaimer on it. I mean, you know, when it happens all the time at news outlets, and then they put a disclaimer on the article. So, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, say that I'm some kind of news organization or a journalist, but, you know, it is in that realm in a way.
Calling the court place, and it turns out that it was a technical error, a keystroke error, and it's like, me and my mom knew that she would never ever in a million years do something like that. She has made a lot of mistakes, like you guys have seen her record. It's just like, how is she supposed to move on from something that she did over a decade ago? Like, she has literally made.
When was this, like 2011? Just Jamie, thank you for being a member for 17 months. IG responses don't have enough characters for these. Oh, you mean her, like, questions? Or I'm a bit confused, but
Instagram.
yeah, her mom's responsible for getting errors corrected. I don't know why she wouldn't get it corrected. Like, girl, get that shit corrected, because if you look at the paper, people were saying, like, it was just like one person was like, you're just following everyone on on Twitter. No, like, I made sure to look up the paper myself through the court's website, because I just felt like I had to with such a thing. And the code was on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been so confused by this situation. And whether it was a keystroke error or, you know, what the hell's going on? Did they just list, like, every single, because they had listed, like, every single assault charge in the book on there. I don't know. Maybe that's how they always do it, and you're supposed to guess, but, like, that don't make sense. Why should we have to guess? Because in PA, when you get a charge, it says exactly what that charge is. And then guilty, not guilty. It doesn't have, like, every single code for every single possession charge, for example. It says what you had, bitch, you know? So it just, I don't know why it was like that.
made amends and has taken accountability and has been sober.
Maybe they don't want to fix it because whatever code was an error is potentially a different charge that may be better, may be worse, right? So if they get it corrected, then they know the React channels might dig back into it again and take another look. So it's possible they want to just leave as is so that everybody knows that that one code is wrong, right? Makes it a little easier for them if that's all they have to say, right? Oh, sorry.
For 9 years, like, it's not like she made, bad mistakes and then didn't make amends and didn't take accountability and didn't change who she is. Like, I have gotten so many messages from people where they were like, the only type of person who can't forgive your mom is someone who has never either A, suffered with drug addiction or have known someone who has suffered with drug addiction. And I think that makes sense, because if you don't understand something or you've never been through something, then I can see why you'd be like, whoa, that's not forgivable. And I understand that to an extent, but really,
The situation is like pretty crazy. I mean, she beat up her mother, and her kids were taken away, and it was all because of mathematics. For me, I've just been thinking about that because mathematics is just like another level. I know in rehab, like, we talk about how all these things are going to lead you down the same path: jails, institutions, death. And I believe that, but mathematics is just another level that is hard for me to understand, because I never got there, thank God I never got there. But it's just another level versus like the pills I was on. Like, I did some things that I regret, sure, but did I ever think of beating up my mother? No. And honestly, my mom probably would have kicked my ass. So my mom, like, she's got it. Like, and when I was bad, she was in her 50s. Now she's in her 60s. But my mom works, like, she works a lot. She likes working. She's moving all the time. She would have beat my ass, probably.
really, I feel like what matters is that I forgive her, her mom forgives her, her family forgives her, and she forgives herself. And that's exactly what has happened. And I think that's why, like, all of this just, like, coming up and, like, strangers, like, this YouTube channel is mine. It's not my mom. So, like, so many strangers just, like, attacking her for stuff that she did while under so.
Well, and I think that was the important thing that you said last week when the story broke, right? Is that the important thing is that everybody's forgiven her. You all have hashed it out. You've reached your conclusion on this. But I mean, you are in a situation where you start introducing additional people to your very large channel. There are probably going to be reactors who actually do some deep diving. I'm not one of those people, Amberlyn. I am definitely not one of the people that's going to be calling up courthouses and deep diving into shit like that. But I mean, I'm glad it got cleared up. I'm glad it got resolved. And I think that most of the React channels just covered it as this is alleged, and Amber Lynn is disputing it. So I don't know how many apologies you're looking for, but okay.
So many drugs, it's not even funny. It's been hard for her because it's like, it's not something that, like, a normal person goes through. They do bad things and they either take accountability or they don't, but usually that's, like, within their family, within their small.
I mean, she's got it with the whole Mama Lynn situation, like forgiving Mama Lynn. She's not my family. Like, it's not even really my place to forgive her. Is the situation really bad? Yes. Should she try to move on with her life and pick up the pieces and, get sober and get a job and clean up her life, yeah, of course she should do that.
Small little group, but my mom is currently experiencing thousands of strangers just like bashing her for something that she did, which she wasn't even truly her true self, and it's just been like really hard for us, I'm not gonna lie. But do I think reaction channels should delete their video? It makes sense if you would, because the information is so not accurate. But like I also understand if they don't, because it is their job to an extent. So I can definitely see both sides of the situation. So next question is,
Really? That's kind of surprising that she would say that.
Mom changed her opinion about going on your channel. So when I first moved here, my mom was very...
I mean, it is like, I know everybody's rolling their eyes like Amberlynn. Who is she to dictate what the reaction channels do on their channel, but I'm just surprised she would say, like, maybe don't. Girl, take a stand. Take a stand.
Very, like, I don't want to be on it yet. Like, she was just, like, super shy about it. And it was definitely something she was thinking of doing for sure. And then just as of recently, like, she randomly just, like, showed her face on video. And she's been...
She copied that take from who?
Feeling a little bit more like, oh, maybe we should have, like, a cooking series on your channel. It's something that we wanted to start. And... but the minute she showed her face, like this whole thing happened, and it made her literally tell me, I don't think I want to be on your channel.
And the way that she talks about things is so like convoluted.
Mm-hmm. And that like hurt me, but like I get it. I don't know if she's going to change her mind. I really hope that she does, because like who she is as a person now, like that's the person that matters. And she did not go through so...
But this is also just a repeat of what she said when the news first broke. So what's the point of bringing it up again unless you want to just keep, dragging your mom against the coals with this one? Like, this seems super passive aggressive.
Much hard work to just constantly be held at the person that she was in her addiction. Because if that's the case, who would ever want to get...
I think, like, part of this is because people don't know her. People don't really know Mama Lynn. So how do we know the way that she is today and her behavior today? We just hear it from Amber Lynn, who's not exactly the most reliable source. So that has a lot to do with it. I mean, this isn't, like, my family, like I said.
Get sober if they're constantly being held to... who they were then.
And Amber has done, like, over the years, most of her talk about her mother has been negative. And recently, just like recently in the past couple of years, it has been more positive. But before that, every time she brought up her mother, it was really negative, and she bashed her mom. She drug her mom. She just did not speak well about her mom.
Like, what's the point of getting sober?
Michael Zachary made a really great point, too, that it would have been more interesting and probably more palatable to the people who showed up to her channel if she spent some time talking about her personal story of how she was able to forgive and move forward after having so many negative feelings about her mom. Like, what was that turning point? And how did you, get there to the... I mean, that would be a very good conversation to hear about your journey to forgiveness, right?
Improving and taking accountability and completely changing who you are as a person, if that's the only thing that people are going to think about when they think...
Unfortunately, I mean, it's the consequences of her actions. People are going to judge you for what you did. It doesn't matter what you were on, and that's just how the world works. Especially because people don't know her, as I said.
Of you. I just don't think it's fair. The next question is, how does your mom feel about you talking about her past on your channel? So that's something that, like, I've always been super worried about. So even when I first started my YouTube channel, I asked both my parents, like, how do you feel about me sharing, things about foster care or things that...
So this is made up as far as we can tell, because her parents were in prison when she started her channel. So it took her a while before she actually started talking to her mom. Like, she was already making videos about this before she would have had an opportunity to have that conversation.
You guys have done that has affected me. And something they've
You guys
both
have done.
always have said, which I have always found so like,
I don't know if I actually believe that this conversation occurred, but
I just feel very thankful for it. Is like, it's your story too, Amberlyn. Like, we put you through these things and our actions have impacted you. So,
and her dad is still on the street. Well, I don't know if he's like on the street, but he's still running around the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, her dad's still running around. He's still active. He's still in and out of prison,
Mm-hmm.
jail, etc. Institutions.
Right.
so it's not just our story, it's also yours. And I think that's why, like, I have been okay with sharing certain things about my parents or my past. Or, like,
Yeah, and like the thing is, she's so worried about this, but what about her own addiction, her own problems? Like, she's sitting here and she's still on the streets. Like, you know what I mean? Not really. I mean, it's food, right? She's not gonna beat up her mom, but she still has her own issues that she needs to focus on first and foremost. Like, it's her time to be selfish in that way. I mean, she's always been pretty selfish, but that's what they tell you, like in like rehab. It's your time to be selfish, to work on yourself and focus on your sobriety, because you have to focus on that first before you are going to be there for the people in your life. Like, that needs to come first, and then have your time being quote unquote selfish, and then years down the line you'll be able to talk to other or be there for other people, right?
That's probably good advice for people who are breaking up out of long term relationships, too. That it's difficult to get out of the situations. Oftentimes, your partner will be like, well, we can just be friends. But then the cycle continues, whatever was going wrong in your relationship. I mean, I'm going through this right now of getting phone calls like every week and having to repeatedly say no. Um, I'm not going to take your phone calls anymore, right? So I have been trying to get to the point where he at least apologizes to me for the things that he has said and done. But he immediately said, call me. No, just text me. I'm sorry. Like, how hard is that? I'm sorry that I said these things that weren't untrue. I'm sorry that I treated you disrespectfully. Like, just say I'm sorry. That's all I'm looking for. Which I will probably not get that. So that's why I'm trying not to put too much emphasis on it, because I've already come to the conclusion that I was dating a pretty severe narcissist. And he even told me he was a narcissist. So I can't be too surprised about that. But but that is something for relationships as well, is that if you know it's not working out and somebody is being abusive in the relationship, whether it be verbally, emotionally, financially, or physically, or sexually, whatnot, it's time to move on to greener pastures, you guys. Like, I know it can be hard, because there's so many toxic relationships out there, like codependency and stuff like that. And apparently, we as human beings have issues with various addictions. You could very easily say that a relationship is also addictive, it can be an addiction. but certainly controlled substances can be, and food, and alcohol, and smoking, and there's lots of things that can be addictive. So, you gotta just like know your own limits, I guess. And probably everybody should get into therapy. That might be good for the whole world.
Like, you know, my mom's record, like that's not something actually I would have ever brought up. I would have never like brought up my mom's record ever. And the only reason why I did is because of this whole thing that's happened. 95% of the things that I have been through I have never mentioned on my channel, but the 5% that I have mentioned, it very much does involve my parents. And
That 5%. He took that 5%.
I have gotten permission because they say that it's also my story, and I'm just appreciative of that. Next question is, are you and Valentine still together? Yes.
Valentine, I forgot about her.
Do you think your food addiction is exacerbated by social?
Girl, that's it. Yes, we are. Come on, give a little drop of tea. Eh. What's going on with Valentine? Can we get like a real name? It's April. Well, it's May, basically. It'll be May, guys. By the time we're done with the live stream, it'll be May.
Social media, and I would
It's
say
gonna be
sometimes,
May.
but it's mainly because like I am also like kind of an emotional eater, and when things get rough, I turn to food, and that does happen. Next question: what's something weird you get anxiety about? But like I have a lot of like food anxieties, and I recently just opened up to my friends about that. It's like some of my really
I just feel that it's weird that she sandwiched that statement about how this has been affecting her mental health and her concerns for her mom and stuff in the middle of a Q&A with flippant questions like this. That's, in my opinion, weird.
bad food anxieties. It's like
Her food anxieties.
if I have like a double cheeseburger, that's one of them, or like a lot of pasta at once, or pizza. Those
What does she mean by food anxieties? Double cheeseburger.
are my top three. And by food anxiety, I mean like
Yeah.
while I'm eating it, like for some reason my brain is telling me you might have a heart attack while eating this.
Oh my
and I know that's
gosh.
like not true, and that's more than likely
I
not
mean-
gonna happen while I'm eating it. But like I do get those like negative thoughts. Those are my top three ones. Sometimes
I don't know, girl. Like, if your blood sugar is out of control, I'm not saying you're gonna have a heart attack, but you could have a medical event eating that cheeseburger. It's not impossible, I would say. I mean, what about the heart attack grill? Do you guys remember the heart attack grill?
sometimes I don't get that at all. But if I am getting that, I usually won't finish my meal. I'll purposely only eat like half of it because in my brain that like makes me feel like, oh, now you have less of a chance of having that.
Yeah, I don't understand how she doesn't have diabetes. But, I mean, obviously, like, if she did and she wasn't taking
Well, I don't think she's actually going in for doctor's visits, so how would you even know if she has it?
care of it at all, something would probably happen, right? And then people would know.
And that heart attack. I know that's like the weirdest thing ever, or for me it feels pretty weird. So that's why that is my answer for this question. Next question is, how does Valentine feel about you posting thirst traps on TikTok? So I have asked her this because I do get this question a lot. People are always like, why do you post, you know, TikToks like this if you're in a relationship? So then it got me thinking, and I was like,
They're for her.
is it weird that I post
JK.
TikToks like this? Like, so then I was like, okay, I'm gonna
I
ask.
don't know, maybe a little bit. If you're in a relationship, right? To post like thirst traps. Just the way that Ambers kind of are in like a come here attitude, you know what I mean? Versus just posting, you know, for some people that's like a job. Post, I guess you could argue it's Amber's job, but she don't get paid on TikTok. You know what I mean? But Instagram models, like, that's their job to post like quote unquote.
And Amberlyn is way late to the party on TikTok. I think she just started her channel like this year. And now TikTok is either going to be dissolved or sold, which means any way you look at it, it's either going to be gone or the business practices are going to change.
quote thirst traps.
I asked Valentine, like, what does she think of it? And honestly, she said she doesn't mind and that she kind of likes it because she gets to also see them and she thinks I look really good in my TikTok. So it's not something that, like, bothers her. She's not really insecure and she's super.
Girl, those TikToks are so cringe. Are we pretending Valentine exists? Yeah, I guess. We're playing pretend. I'm not really gonna believe, like, yeah, let's speculate, but do I believe she exists? I'll believe it when I see her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I like to pretend Valentine exists. Me too. It's the only thing we've got going, guys. It's the only thing we've got going right now is Valentine.
Super confident in, like, the way that I feel for her and the way that she feels for me. So I don't think there's an issue.
Otherwise, what else is there? Now that this Amber's Mama Lynn dog situation is put to bed, what else is there besides Valentine?
Mm-hmm.
With it, but if she was bothered with it, obviously I wouldn't do it anymore. Next question is, does Valentine want to appear in your YouTube videos? She does. It is something we have talked about, and she said that she is willing to be in my videos, but I think that we're both waiting till we're both ready because I think that's like a really big step. I'm not gonna lie, because I haven't had my partner in videos in a really long time.
It's a big step now, but didn't she show Becky like the first or second time that they had even met? I feel like she did.
So that's kind of going to be like really new territory for me. So I want to just.
Oh, that's good. Georgina Glass. I like that. Valentine Glass, Georgina Glass.
Well, the other thing is that when she was putting her former partners in videos, that predates the Mr. Snowflake docuseries. So she may have more of a sense of caution if Valentine actually exists.
Love that.
Like, wait, especially like I just am not in the greatest headspace right now.
Yeah, have they even met? Like, what the hell?
Mm-mm.
I don't get these like super long distance relationships. I guess it's possible that Valentine lives in Oklahoma, but I don't. The way that Amber has talked about it, it sounds like she doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like some sort of long distance thing. Because she hasn't said a word about.
I mean, it's not impossible. When I was 31, which is pretty close to Amber's age, a little bit younger than what she is right now, I was dating my boyfriend cross country. He lived in Virginia and I lived in California. And we dated long distance for an entire year before agreeing to move in together in Richmond, Virginia. But it took a long time to get us to that point, right?
Ever being together in person or hanging out.
Right now, as you guys can tell. So I just want it to be like a really good time when we finally like take that next step. Whether
Yeah, Wifey 2.0. They met at the bingo hall. Wouldn't that be funny?
Huh?
Ugh. The bingo
casino.
hall. Love that.
it's like her real name or whatever it may be. Question 13, how do you feel that No Reaction Channel has come out and apologized to your mom after bashing her for something that she didn't even do?
That's not true.
I think there was one reaction channel who did apologize, and that was Alex Ashok. So
Girl, she watches every single video.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
I do actually greatly appreciate that because he did it. It makes me emotional. Sorry. It makes me emotional because he did it like the day he found out that it wasn't true. And there are so many other reaction channels that like literally.
I touched Amber. How?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally contributed to the problem. Like, I'm not innocent. Why do I always get away with literally everything? I contributed to the problem, girl. Like, I'm willing to sit here and admit that, but okay.
They bashed my mom. That's how it felt. That's how it felt to us because it's hard. It's heavy. There are other reaction channels who like spoke on it like the day of. like when they thought it was true, and then they just haven't said anything since. They haven't said anything since finding out that it's not true, and it puts a bad taste in my mouth. And I've always had like a love-hate relationship for Alex and Shook, but like there have been.
Oh yeah. Why didn't she talk about Sam? Because Sam was the one that called.
Instances, this is not the first one where he has like done the right thing, and I just appreciate him for that, like truly. Like I even told my mom that he apologized, and because my mom knows a little bit about reaction channels, none by.
Yeah, she actually gets pretty rude about Sam. It's not cool, Amberlynn. Sam saved your ass in this scenario. And by the way, not every React channel owes you an apology. Just if they happen to mention that, oh, and this story is going around Girl World, let's see how it shakes out. Like, not everybody owes you an apology. That is what React channels do.
Mama Lynn knows who I am.
Name
Oh,
or anything weird
gosh.
like that. She just knows that they exist, and she's also appreciative, and she's also strangely and ironically and weirdly enough appreciative of the person who called the courtroom.
Okay.
Aw.
She did give credit. Battery exhausted. Thank you for gifting 1 Shook membership.
No. Her mom gave Sam credit. Amberlynn is trying to take it back and be like, but it was with ill intentions that she called.
Megan, welcome to Shookers, girl. Let's get a welcome. Kyle. Yes. Welcome.
And because I feel like the call was made to prove that I was lying, when in fact I wasn't. I was vindicated. My mom was vindicated.
The call wasn't made to see if you were lying. The call was made to get the truth. Because, I don't know, the whole situation was just kind of off from the beginning. I should have listened to my gut instinct. But everything was right there. Like, the paperwork lined up. And I checked it once, I checked it twice, like the naughty list.
Mm-hmm.
Something just felt a little bit off, even from the beginning. But it wasn't to prove you were a liar. It was just to get the truth.
I think, if I remember correctly, the news about this came out on my birthday. And I wasn't doing a whole lot on YouTube that day, but I might have made mention of it somewhere or on Friday, about how I think that the React channels need to be more cautious about trying to act like PIs. That's what I said.
But we are both actually, strangely enough, grateful that that call was made.
Acquitted.
And, mistakes do happen, even in the courtroom. And that's just proof that things like that do happen. It is odd that someone would call, but we are grateful that it did happen. And I think, my mom had to put me in a different headspace for a minute because this was just getting hard and heavy. And she was like, you know what, Amberlynn, that person could.
Hard and heavy.
Mm-hmm.
She just had a stroke. Are you talking about the mom? Yeah. The mom had just had a stroke before the situation occurred.
Would have not revealed about the error. And I was
If you read the paper, it's pretty bad.
like, that's true. The person could have called and found out about the error and then just kept quiet. But the fact that they, I haven't seen I don't know if it's a video. I heard that it was a YouTube channel. I don't even know who it was. I don't know their name or anything like that. So I'm assuming the person made a video and said, it's actually just an error. They could have not done that. So the fact that they did, we are appreciative. So thank you. Next question is there a reason why people think that your girlfriend is fake? So the only thing that I have seen, because I do get messages, is that people think that she's fake because of the timeline. because two of my exes are
What's the
also in like
timeline?
relationships or whatever. And it makes sense. I understand because I waited like over 2 months to reveal that I even had a girlfriend. Like that's the only thing I can think of because like I have never really been single for that long. So it shouldn't even be surprising that I have a girlfriend at this point.
At this point. Wait, hold on. I wasn't paying attention. Andy Ward, thank you for the super chat. You were clear, charges weren't verified, and updated it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in my original video, I said, like, it's not, because people were saying that she unalived a service dog, and I was like, that's not confirmed at all, because this charge was kind of broad. But thank you, Andy.
Two of my exes are also in like relationships or whatever. And it makes sense.
I just like really zoned out there for a second.
I understand because I waited like over 2 months to reveal that I even had a girlfriend. Like that's the only thing I can think of because like I have never really been single for that long. So
I don't know, girl. I'll believe it when I see it. Like, period, point blank. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's happened before where people were like, this isn't real. She's lying. And then, you know, with the Kuwait situation with Chantal, nobody thought that that was actually going to happen. And lo and behold, it actually did. Like, so stranger things have happened, but I'll believe it when I see it. Period, point blank.
So it shouldn't even be surprising that I have a girlfriend at this point. So the last question is, do you have a problem with jealousy? So I'm not really a jealous person. I don't get jealous of other people's money or other people's looks or other people's this or that. What I do get jealous about though is like stuff in relationships. Like when I'm in a relationship, like I am a jealous girlfriend.
Does she not get jealous about like people, I don't know, walking around, living their best life? I don't know. I feel like that's a lie. Because even myself, like my feet are fucked up. I've talked about it before. Like I'll just get jealous that people don't have to worry about being in constant pain while they're walking, you know? But that's just me. Cece Wolf, Cat, thank you for being thank you.
Well, I wouldn't say jealous. I mean, that I've got a pain condition and it makes it difficult for me to walk, right? Because sure, that's been going on for 2 years now. That it's very hard for me to walk, and I have constant pain that doesn't go away ever. I mean, I did talk the other day about how I have sporadic joint pain that comes sort of with my hormonal cycle that is kind of just a ghost of previous injuries that I've had. But this is a never goes away pain. And the first year that I had it, it was mentally difficult to realize that I needed to learn to live with it. But I don't look at the people around me and experience jealousy. I do get upset when people kind of rub it in my face though. Like, well, you can't do certain things because of your condition. Well, obviously not, you know, but I'm trying to figure out what I can do. When it comes to relationships, it's not a matter of jealousy, it's a matter of respect, disrespect, right? So I just expect a certain level of etiquette out of my partner, that they are going to be attentive and you know, if they're talking to somebody else at the bar, that they're going to include me in the conversation, things like that. But I wouldn't call that jealousy. I would call that my irritation with my partner for not doing the right thing, right?
For the super chat. Why don't I believe she has a girlfriend? Liar, Lynn. Yeah, she has that reputation. So we're just gonna kind of have to wait and see on that. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Cece.
I don't know if that's like part of like an insecurity of mine.
Yeah, she was jealous of the girls taking selfies in front of rock walls.
Or if that's like BPD. I don't know what it is, but I do get kind of jealous, pretty jealous. And I'm actually working really hard on that. And I feel like I have gotten a lot better. The only thing I can do is improve and try not to like show.
That's so old. The rock wall situation that was Destiny era. I wasn't even really around, but I mean, I know that reference because I've brushed up on I've like, learned my lore, right?
Show my jealousy too much, if you know what I'm saying. But, Valentine actually doesn't mind a little jealousy. So I guess that's a good thing. So
What does that mean? That sounds toxic.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't mind a little jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Does she mean like okay, let's say Valentine said she was talking to a girl coworker and like it got a little flirty. Amber's jealous and Valentine like that turns her on. I don't know.
So that is the end of this video. I know it was kind of heavy for me, so it might be heavy for y'all. I don't really
Girl, that was kind of a lot. It was heavy, all right. Yikes on bikes.
know, but I'm going to try posting some more. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
She said, like in the beginning of the video, like I didn't want to worry you guys because I had left. Like, girl, I wasn't worried. I wasn't surprised or worried because she's been doing this like a lot recently. If it was 2019 and she disappeared for a week, I mean, people would be like, "OMG, where is she? Where is she?" But nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just kind of expected for her to disappear for a week. I don't know what it is, but I got my vacation on.
Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up there because Alex's live stream was 4 hours and 37 minutes and 53 seconds long. It's a long ass live stream, dude. I don't think I could do them that long. But he goes into several topics. So, and this is the only one that I really wanted to cover. So, this will be it.